Hey Chelsea, so you just made a video where very early on you said, I'm going to quote so I don't misrepresent, but you said, sometimes I don't think you are worth it. And I think there are two ways to think about what you said. One is that you don't think the people watching your videos are worth your time. One is you think that the disembodied version of YouTube that you carry around with the camera, that's the object that is not worth your time. Because you could also then try and decipher what it means. But you go on to talk about how YouTube and the videos that are popular and the channels that are very successful are very entertaining, but tend to be very, very superficial. And in that vein, I am going to make your video all about me. Mostly because I don't want to misrepresent anything that you said, because I think it's a little bit ambiguous enough that I could give off the wrong impression of what you're trying to get across. So I'm just going to recommend that anybody who happens to watch this watches your video. I should also say, this is not me back making videos on this channel. This is a brief interruption from hiatus, as it were. I'm also really frustrated with not just YouTube, but the internet and YouTube culture. There's a lot of crossover between YouTube and Tumblr audiences, and there are parts of me that just, some of the time, I feel like this is the most vapid, clueless group of people, and why on earth do I seek their approval? Because I do. I want my videos to get views. I want to have subscribers. I want to be successful. I would love to be in a position where I could quit my job and make videos all the time and make awesome stuff and the stuff that I want to make. But what is the stuff that I want to make? Is it vapid, entertaining content? And I'm aware that by making this video I may be throwing myself under the bus, and I may wake up tomorrow with half of the subscriber base that I had. But the reality is that half of the time, a bunch of the comments that I get, I'm really just frustrated and aggravated by, and I won't reply to, and I don't like people in general, and I don't like even the people who have passed the qualification of they like the stuff that I have to say. It doesn't mean that I necessarily have any more respect for them, which is not a good thing. I hate you, subscribers. It's what I'm intimating, I guess. And there are caveats to that. Specifically that I don't hate you most of the time, and I don't hate most of you a lot of the time, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve, or something. I don't know, Lord of the Rings-y. What am I doing? But Chelsea, I wanted to reply to your video because I think that this is something that we don't ever really talk about as creators, that sometimes, you know, it's very easy for us to go, YouTube is changing and the industry is changing, and screw the industry, screw the companies, screw the big corporate money that's modifying everything that we know and love, screw the media, screw everything. And we never ever seem to have the guts to mention sometimes the general audience kinda sucks. And that making all these jump cuts and trying to keep our videos short and investing in all this equipment and spending a bunch of time and stuff isn't necessarily stuff that we do because we artistically want to do it for the stuff that we want to create, but we do it because the audience seems to demand it. Not individually, but collectively, and there are times where the people that we are making videos for place demands on what it is that we do that undermine what we would like to be doing. And it sucks. And personally, I don't know why it's been the case that this has been something that's a bit more evident to me in the last 6 months or so. It used to be that I could just turn on the camera and make something and try and make it fit the parameters that the YouTube audience, I don't even want to say the YouTube audience, but that people demand, and then I would feel happy with it because I'm making, you know, it's effectively you're trying to write a haiku. You have to fit the syllable format, and you can still be creative within those boundaries. But I think now that I know what it takes to make stuff that is entertaining, to make stuff that will make views, I'm absolutely disgusted by the idea of actively chasing after that. Is that I look at the audience, and I look at the people that I know would watch a certain video if I were to make it, and I'm just disgusted by the idea of appealing to that. I don't want to make something to be watched. I don't want to make something that I think you want to see. It's worse than selling out. You know, if someone were to say, I will give you $10,000 to make a video about a particular topic, fine, because at least you walk away with $10,000 and lose your self-respect. But when you make something for an audience that demands a particular way of doing things, and you go ahead and you make it just so that you can get a little bit more attention from this group of people, what are you left with? You lose your self-respect, and you don't even have any real money to show for it. That's what a lot of YouTube is, and I look at a lot of the larger channels, and I agree with you that there's a lot of content that's very vapid. There are exceptions. There's educational content, there's very artistic content. Not a lot of it does very well, and it certainly doesn't go viral, and it's a game to try and capture the attention of people who we would not want to be alone in a room with. I'd like you to make a follow-up video, because at the end you kind of turn it around into something that's more hopeful. I want to know what that is, because one of the reasons that I haven't come back and started making videos on this channel again is because I don't know what it is. Right now I'm just banking on the idea that if I wait a long enough amount of time and just let my brain try and come up with some sort of solution, I'll find a way to make things that I am happy with that also can have some sort of appeal. Because I'm in it. I'm in this YouTube community, and as much as I might like to say that the numbers don't matter, that whether or not people watch has no impact on what I make, it's not true. I've put stuff up on my side channels. I have a collab channel that's running, and those are great because I don't care, and the fewer viewers, the happier I will be, because I don't want to appeal to anybody. There's Woody Allen, I would never want to belong to any club that would have me as a member. The dark underpinnings of that joke is that the members suck. YouTube viewers, you suck. Holistically, collectively, as a group. Internet in general, you suck. All of you. You like to be armchair activists, and you like to say that you want this or that thing or whatever from the media, but then you sit there and you watch all of this vapid content, this tripe, and it's entertaining, and it's funny, and it's witty, and some of it can be done very cleverly, but at the same time, it's still just a matter of trying to make a little bit of a creative touch inside this machine that we think will appeal to you. And the funny part of it is that we're so afraid to just come out and say that. It's really easy to say YouTube as a platform sucks, the industry sucks. It's not... None of us are comfortable talking to our audience and saying, you're part of the problem and you're making things worse. If you really want to see people happily creating what they love, then you have to support them. You have a choice of what you watch and what you support, and when what you support contradicts what you say that you would like to see, it shouldn't be any surprise that we chase after better equipment and that we make tighter jump cuts just to appeal to your absurd standards. Chelsea, I don't know if I'm reading what you said right. In my head, you worded it just ambiguously enough that you can hint at that without the consequences of everybody being enraged by it. But I don't know. But whether you or anybody else has any sort of suggestions as to how to just how to make things that matter and how to get them seen. And I'm already rolling my eyes at the number of comments that I imagine have already cropped up about, don't make stuff for us, just make the stuff you want and things will happen naturally, because you're missing the point. If I wanted to make stuff just for me, I wouldn't publish it. Anybody who publishes YouTube videos is hoping for a response, and that's simply the reality of it. If I wanted to make stuff for me, I could make it, I could edit it, and I could watch it on my own machine. YouTube isn't just an archiving platform for the stuff that I want to make. This has been a very dark video. This is like the I'm scared video. Anyway, Chelsea, thank you for saying what you had to say, because I think it's something that really matters, and I think it's something that very few of us are comfortable coming out and talking about. Cheers.